what's up, YouTube? It's your host, King Geo. So here we go again. Wait, what's going on with the toxic relationship? So, I want to first and foremost, I want to say that I don't usually put these things out here about my family. But the reason that I'm doing this is that I want to bring awareness to how many people in our society are suffering from mental illness and they don't do anything about it. And I just not women are the only one that suffer in a relationship. Men do also. So as you see my other video about toxic relationship with my son, is that my son doesn't comprehend like you and I do. But he's very livid. He understands 90, I would say 95% of the things he do, but there's something that he lacks. And this young girl who's been in his life for, I would say, close to 6 months, is trying to manipulate him, right? Because she has no self-love for herself. I wrote to her on Friday because my wife wanted to, because she doesn't like the idea of him living with my daughter. She wants him home, and I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, she's like, why don't we try to seek her therapy? Why don't we try to seek her help? Why don't we see, if he goes for help, something like that. And I'm like, why would we need to do that? That's not our thing. That's not our job. So and then I wrote to her and I said, you know what? Come by Sunday and we'll talk. I know that my wife wants more closeness with our son, so she's willing to accept her as long as she goes to therapy. Then I spoke to my son, and my son wants to change her. He says, Dad, I can change her. Dad, people need second chances. And I said, listen, there's no need for you at 20 years old to be with a girl who has mental problems. You were married, or you guys been together, and then she suffered, and then she came to depression. It's something different. But this girl came with these issues with you, and you're 20 years old, and you're willing to tackle this on when you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. Just because she has slept together doesn't mean anything. You have plenty of women out there in the world. You can sleep with if that was the case, right? I spoke to him, and I said, you're supposed to be enjoying yourself. You're supposed to be enjoying life. You're supposed to be enjoying, if you want to be with her, you're supposed to be enjoying each other's company, not thinking about the future, not thinking about, oh, Dad, I see myself the rest of my life with her. We've all said that at one time in our lives, oh, with our first girlfriend, that's going to be the one that I want, So she has too much baggage, and then she's like, she texts him and says that we are holding him back. This is a girl that we just came in the family, doesn't know anything about us. We are holding him back. She put out a message saying that he has to choose between family and her, a girl that hasn't even been in this family for 6 months. No, not this family with my son for 6 months. Either her or us. That he spends too much time with my sister, with my daughter. She sent him a text yesterday saying, someone made a comment and said, well, I'll take my maid over my family any day. Blood is not thicker than dick. That's what that girl said. So she sent them to him, and I said, listen, girl, this is why no one likes you, because you spewing stuff into my son's brain that you're not supposed to. Blood is thicker than water. Maybe because you didn't have a relationship with your family and you didn't have no upbringing, so whatever happened, the case may be. No one should ever pick no one should pick a friend or a girl over their family at all, unless if your family were bad to you, and whatever the reason may be, they'll mean. Maybe y'all can see that. So I don't know her, so I can't say what. I know she has issues because she's spoken to my son about them, and my son has spoken to us about it before they even started going on, and we even warned him, don't do this, don't get into a relationship with this girl because this girl has problems. Like I said. So then he said that we are holding him back. He should let his feelings out. That he doesn't stand up to me. Why is he gonna stand up? This sick girl say, "Oh, I'm gonna put an order of no contact on your dad, and I need you to come with me." Told my daughter, I need witnesses to come with me. An order of contact for what? I don't even talk to the girl. I don't even do anything to the girl. And he thinks that she's gonna put an order of contact, and I find it money. I said, I want you to take it to court. I want to see how stupid you feel once I go in front of the judge. And I show him all these texts and all these pictures that you sent to my son. I'm going to send them this one that said that you're going to stab yourself. I'm going to send them this one that says life is no good. Okay? I'm going to send you other ones that says that, stay away. I'm not stay away. That we are holding you back. I'm going to send you this one that says that you don't want to live anymore. Okay? A girl that's been there for 6 months. And now the thing is, now she said to my son, I want you to move in with me because I have to pay rent here. Because she left her house to go live with a friend. And her friend is even worse than her because her friend encourages that type of behavior. She says, I want you to come with him because the rent's going to be $500 here and I have to pay water and light. That's not your problem. I told my son, if you move in there, that's going to be the worst mistake you have because she's like that now. If you move in, you're never going to come out. You're not going to be free. You're not going to be you. And I told my son, you can't try to save her because that's not your job. You're not a psychiatrist. You're not a psychologist. Hey, but Dad, everybody deserves a second chance. Like, what do you mean the second chance? You don't even know her. You don't even know her that well to say she deserves a second chance. Because she doesn't do anything to anybody, to any of us, to say that she deserves a second. To say that she deserves a second chance. I tried that with my baby's mom, my first wife. Tried to change her because my first wife, she had 2 kids by the age of 18. She lost custody of both of them because of what she took out a knife on her own daughter, who was 6 months old. So she had bag with her, but I thought like my son. I said, I can change her. No, you cannot. That cannot happen. And she's gonna have to be willing to do the thing. She has to be willing to go to the therapist. She needs to be. When a person tells that I don't want to live, you already know this girl for 6 months, and she's saying she don't want to live. That she's nothing without you. That's mental. Because you just met her 6 months ago. And here she is telling you that without you, she don't want to live. That she's gonna stab herself. Now, mind you, Dad, been together years, so you can't say this has been years. Well, it's only 6 months. And she says, you broke me. You have broken me. I will never know what love is again. 6 months into a relationship. That's meant to, bro. That's meant to. And my son, being that he doesn't know how to discern, he understands she has a mental problem, but he wants to help her. He understands that she has this, but yet he doesn't want to detach himself from her. I don't know why. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing to yourself? My son is one of the type of people that once he gets depressed, that's it. It's kind of hard to get him out of depression. And that's what I don't want him to get stuck in. I don't want him to get stuck in that depression. My son is a way good looking. I'm saying because my son is a very good looking man. He can get any girl he wants to. But he chooses to be with her. He knows that this girl is no good. He knows that this girl, I told him, you stop the girl within a month. That's nothing, bro. But that's neither here or there. My point is that she uses her words like I'm going to kill myself, like I'm going to hurt myself, like I'm going to do this, to bring him back. You ever seen that movie between love? There's a thin line between love and hate with Martin Lawrence, right? It's just like that. Basic instinct, just like this is just like that. She manipulates him because she knows she can, because she knows that here my son will go back. And then, mind you, this is not a relationship that's been for years. This is a relationship that's gone on for just for months. And I just don't understand, And my wife suffers a lot because she sees there's nothing that she can't do. But I let it take its course. And I tell him, you're doing something real bad. You're letting this girl manipulate you. And for what? And then the more you sleep over with my son was a shy guy. And he goes over to these people's house to sleep over. I'm like, yo, why are you going to someone's house to sleep in someone's house? We used to go on vacation, and we used to drive from New York to Florida, and he didn't even use the bathroom at all on a 20-hour drive. He didn't use the bathroom at all because he didn't want to use a public restroom. He wouldn't even urinate. That's how shy he was. And here he goes, sleeps in someone else's house, showers in someone else's house. It's not even his house. He doesn't even know these people from hole to wall. I told him, don't you feel uncomfortable? Don't you feel like out of your place when you have a house? When you go to the house, you have my daughter. I told him yesterday, whenever you want, you can come back as long as you do the things that you got to do. But he doesn't understand. I understand he wants his freedom. I understand he wants this. I mean, there's a story behind why my son's not here, and that's something that I will tell you later on. But or maybe not. But he thinks he's man. Yes, he's 20 years old, but he thinks he knows everything. Most kids think they do, and it's just it amazes me how this girl in 6 months has manipulated to say that we're holding him back and he should free himself. So he doesn't even know his family. And to say she's gonna kill herself, she can stab herself in her leg. Like, okay, you stab yourself in the leg. What's that gonna do? Scar you unless you hit a vein. And if you die, you die. And if you live, then you give it another try. For a guy? I mean, I told her, you need help. You need to seek help. I told her, before anyone can love you, you have to love yourself. Life is a bitch. Whatever happened to you. Okay, fine, but you have to move on. And I told my son, she's holding you because you're a pillow. She is needed. When she met my son, she had a boyfriend. She gave my son hickeys. And I told him, yo, this is the kind of girl you want to be with that's messing around with you, and she has a boyfriend? Come on, man. You gotta be smart of that. So this is unfolding. And like I say this because there are people out there who have mental issues, who are emotionally attached, who can get emotionally attached to someone because they feel that they don't have anybody else, that they feel they gotta cling on to someone in order to feel validated. Feel that someone loves me when all they gotta do is love themselves and to find someone. You don't sleep with a guy just because you want that guy to feel for you or you feel connection. You don't do that. That's not love, especially not at 6 months. No one knows what love is at 6 months, bro. I thought I did, but I was that age. So I'm trying to convince him, but it's gonna be kind of hard, and I know I can't convince him. So I have to let him walk on his own mistake. But at the same time, I don't want this psycho girl that he says, I don't want to be with you one day. At the middle of the night, he says, I don't want to be with you one day because he doesn't know any better. She comes over the night, she stabs him, put it to his knife, and say, hey, you ain't leaving me at all. Because she looks like she's this type of girl. And I told her mom, I said, I'm gonna pick that picture that you guys saw of her with the nosebleed. I said that to her. She goes, all I can do is pray for my daughter. Yeah, she's a white girl, if you guys didn't know. But that's neither here nor there. But I say that because I told my son how white women are, because I've dealt with white women. I'm 50 years old. I've been around the block, and I know how they are. Not most of them, but some of them. And when they come with this kind of problem, you want to shy yourself away. You want to say, no, you take care of your problem. Once you take care of you and you're okay, then you come talk to me. We still be friends and all that, but we can't have a relationship. That doesn't work for me. That's too much for me. That's suicide and all that. That's way too much for me. I can't deal with that. I'd rather be with someone that's more stable, someone that I can relate to, but that's too much. I hope you're out, but that's a little tidbit too much for me. And that's it. But just want you to know that you don't need someone to tell you. You don't need to be with someone to validate you, to validate who you are. Whether you're a man or woman, if you're in a bad relationship, get out. There's no point of you suffering, whether you're a man or woman. There are a lot of men out there who are good for you. There are a lot of women out there who are good for you. So if you're in a relationship and you don't see no way out, just move. Go somewhere. There's 50 states. And if you have to go to a shelter, you go to a shelter. But don't stay in a toxic relationship. It will consume you completely. It really will.